My name is Batesmuck, also known as David Jacobs. I was born here in Vancouver, and I live at Homolston, the village of Homolston. I lived here with my grandfather, my father, and all our family. We've been living here for a long time. I've been asked to make a comment or two on the election reform. I was part of the panel, had a good look at the election system. We had the task at the time to see how it can be changed. We were told, the people were told at general meeting, that a lot of people were asking for change. So that individual went to council and said there was a lot of people asking this person. Can I use his name?
Up to you.
Okay. Who had asked for the change in the election system. And I asked him at the time, well, how many people asked you for the change? I never did get an answer of a number. So I don't know whether that was the right thing to do at the time, not knowing that we don't know how many people wanted the change. I sat on that panel, took a good look at how the system was, and reviewed the history of the change, beginning with the hereditary system in our council. I believe in the 1980s that some young people wanted to change from the hereditary system to the election system. Why they wanted it then is that none of those individuals would get on council of the present system with a hereditary system. So they wanted change. So they brought the change forward. The people had to vote on if they wanted to have the election system or the hereditary system. Well, the people opted for a change over the hereditary system. I believe there was 35 or 38 in difference. However, they went ahead with a change. From that point on, things changed quite a bit. Things weren't going so good, so then they came about to do the change in the election system. But that individual again got involved in it and proposed several changes, which was opposed to by the panel that were looking at the election system. But then when they had family meetings, it changed again. They said, well, this is what the panel were looking at, would ask the voices of the people, and they just said, no, this is what we want. But if you look at the ballot, the referendum ballot, it was totally changed. I had a look at it, and I said, this is wrong. But they went ahead with the referendum. Many of the people didn't even know what they were voting for. And they just ticked it off. So it changed again. My main opposition to it was that my voice was taken away from me by in the referendum said that I could only vote in where I lived. I could not vote any other place than Homolston, which is wrong. And I kept saying at the time, we're all Squamish people. You can't take my vote away. When the votes were counted after the referendum, that's what I'm opposing. Chief Gibby was saying, and I support him when he's saying that we have to look at the system and have it change. I hope that all the people understand the problem, and I support the change, and I will do everything I can with my family, Claudia and myself, support the change back to what the amalgamation says. And I hope that we all stand up, because we are changed so much in the last 100 years. But you can't change what's inside of us. Am I colonized? Have I been colonized? Am I doing what the white man set out to do? Colonize our people. Where is our Indianism? I look around the community now, and what I have been saying to my family, I said, many years ago at a general meeting, one of the elders stood up at the time at the meeting and said, no more of our land will be surrendered. It will always remain Squamish lands. Well, that, to me, that is something that was always been in the hearts of Squamish. It'll always remain Squamish lands. But one thing I start to look around the community is, our Squamish people going to remain Squamish? Are we changing in 1, 2, 3, 4 generations from now? Are we still going to be Squamish? As Squamish people, how are we going to maintain our Squamishism? I think that is vital. Now, this election reform, I urge everyone to talk to the old people, talk to the young people, and let's do it together for the betterment of our people. When we vote council in, they are responsible for the health, the education, the welfare of our people. It's not happening today. We as Squamish people, we're going to hopefully elect young, responsible people that will listen to the people. I've heard many times, and a long time ago, is that a good leader or a good chief listens to the people. We should keep that always in our mind. Families have leaders. They should be teaching their families, their children and grandchildren. What I want to talk about, we are teaching the Squamish language. We've done the genealogy study of our people. We are not teaching the Squamish history, because I asked the question, who are you and where do you come from? We should be able to give a good, clear answer. To use an example, in the longhouse, when they say, when I call as a witness, Aitzmach, they all look over, they recognize. Everyone should have that, what belongs to them. Then we recognize what village you come from. So we're going to have to put that in motion, a resolution that I want to put forward at an assembly, a general meeting, about teaching our history.
We could just finish with, if you had a magic wand, what would you like to see concerning the Electoral Reform Law?
What we really need is very strong young leaders that's prepared to go out and work hard every day, so especially the old people can have better lives, better quality lives. But we have a responsibility as elders too, to teach young leaders, because they'll be here for a long, long time, like the old people have been here for a long time. My wife and I, Slowey and I, We have a potlatch every 2 years. We gather the people together in the longhouse for celebrations, to feed the people, to talk to the people. Many of our friends from all over southern BC, they hear Bates Slough having a potlatch. We're going, we're invited. That longhouse, there isn't a place to sit in there. It's full. That's what the Squamish people got to get back. Gather the people together in celebration. I was told one time by Yamas, Tim Moody, I first met him when I first got on council. He was there and he asked my name and I told him Batesmuck, and he said, I remember when he was a young lad living in that Squamish area, CHM. They used to jump up early in the morning and go running to old Jacob, his house. He had so much food, jams, berries, and all of that. And he said that family wasn't a winter that went by without fail. He had a potlatch to feed the people and give them blankets, goods. That's the way it was here. It seems to be fading away. I have to get back to the old ways of our people.
Is there anything else that's on your heart?
Election reform, I think they're doing a good job, and I support it 100%. And my families.
Support the referendum or support?
I support the change.
Oh, okay.
Some of us won't admit it, but I will admit that I made a mistake when they had the election. In the referendum, what they had said is not what I was really thinking about. So I made a mistake, but I'm prepared now to sit down with the rest of the people. Let's fix it. It can be fixed. Our Squamish people won't rest off, and our leadership. We select leadership, and I hope that all the young people stand up, come forward.